Hello, my name is Brooke McKaig, and this is my final presentation video for the Education Media Design and Technology program at Full Sail University. For my action research project, I was concerned with resolving two issues within my graphic design program. The first was to establish a school-approved and cost-efficient way for my students to create and display a digital body of work they could take with them when they completed the program. The second was to improve the use, knowledge, and understanding of design vocabulary used in the design program. The previous year, our district set up an account with Google. The students were able to build portfolio sites under the umbrella of the Adams 12 Google account. However, they didn't have ownership to the sites and were not able to take them with them when they graduated. In addition to that, they were only viewable by District 12 employees, staff members, and students. For my action research project, I convinced our administration to allow for us to set up an iGoogle account for each individual student in the design program. This was the foundation for the AR project, iGoogle and Google Sites. Cycle 1 started in our first week of school with all design students setting up an iGoogle Gmail account. Once the accounts were established, we walked through the process of creating a website and the required pages within the site for the project. The lesson was recorded for students to use as reference and posted to the class website. With the accounts and the shell of the website in place, the students submitted their new email and URL to a class-shared Google spreadsheet. Throughout first and second quarter, we began building on design vocabulary through weekly projects and units, covering balance, rhythm, unity, contrast, emphasis, line, texture, color, typography, and layout. We met every Monday with the language arts instructor to work on writing skills and incorporating the new vocabulary into personal reflection writing of the design work created by the students in class. Cycle 1 successfully established the creation of student portfolio sites and the start of personal reflection writing. What I hadn't expected was the difficulty in getting students to maintain their sites, and a new strategy and rubrics were implemented in Cycle 2 to help keep with the keep up. We began Cycle 2 the start of second semester, and once the students had a more solid grasp of the vocabulary. Each week, students would submit and post 2 critique writings of classmates' work to their peers' sites. A new rubric was created to assess the writing projects and to help with the motivation of students maintaining, uploading, and submitting both their design work and critique writings. There were many aspects of the EMDT program that contributed to the development of my AR project, and the new ideas and knowledge that moved it in different directions to incorporate these new skills, such as using a virtual environment for collaboration. Forming a stronger understanding of multiple intelligences and using mind maps to structure my lessons to address all learners was extremely useful and made me more aware of how I delivered my units. This led to how we determined to involve peer critique into the writing unit, using peer evaluation as motivation, not to mention how amazing our student surveys. Emergent technologies in a collaborative culture was a huge eye-opener in the Web 2.0 possibilities available to me and my students. I learned a great deal more about using Google Docs, which I now use entirely in my program, and found great tools like GoAnimate to create lessons and instruction, and Animoto, which all my students will be using for their final portfolio presentations this year. The review of literature in my action research project looked at how portfolios had been used to document student achievement and assess learning. Additionally, the reviews supported the use of critiquing to enhance and improve design and writing skills. I feel that my action research project demonstrated how digital portfolios had been benefiting my students by providing a visual representation of their growth and understanding of design principles through the personal and peer critique evaluations. The work put into implementing the project resultingly has followed suit with the literature reviewed in being a valuable tool in the educational process. Based on the findings, I plan on incorporating more digital media in my lessons and means of assessment. Furthermore, I will be looking at having my findings published in an educational technology journal and possibly presenting to Colorado Art Educators Conference. Through digital media and educational application, I rediscovered how to use Flash. With the foundation of my AR in place, I plan on creating more lessons and practice tutorials accessible to my students online to learn the principles of design. Music theory has already set in action for some of my students to create their own digital recordings to enhance their final portfolio presentations, creating a more personalized feel to their portfolios. Just like in digital storytelling, the students' portfolio websites tell a story of personal growth and achievement. Throughout the AR project, a story was being created that has enriched my students and my classroom. Games make everything more fun. Remembering this through gaming strategies and motivation, I discovered a way to make learning and recalling vocabulary terms more tolerable with a design vocabulary game board I created for my students. Two of the most valuable things I will take away from the EMDT program and incorporate into a Cycle 3 of my AR project is the use of a learning management system and the fabulous refresher of the ADDIE system. The creation and development of my AR project has set in place several major aspects for my future. The first being the refinement of my AR project to be implemented in the 2011-2012 school year. I'm planning on spending the summer reevaluating and fine-tuning all the different aspects of the process to run more smoothly next school year. In addition to that, much of the skills that I've gained and knowledge from the EMDT program, I will be incorporating into my entire graphic design program. It's a 2-year program for high school juniors and seniors, and I'm going to be using a learning management system, so probably Schoology. That's what I'm familiar with, unless I can find something that works more smoothly for what I want. And putting the entire program online, and I'm kind of going to use it as a pilot to introduce to some of the other programs that we offer at Bowman Tech to show that they can function both within the classroom and online, so that their students have access to all of their criteria from anywhere, which I think is a great asset for all of our students. And the majority of our kids do have computers at home and do have access to the internet. It has been a great help for me this year with Google Apps and Google Docs to email my students every single week, letting them know what needs to be uploaded to their website, to keep track of who they've critiqued and who needs to be critiquing. But I didn't learn about all of that until I had already started my action research project. So next year, I think that now that I have some time to actually implement it, it'll run much more smoothly. In addition to that, part of the reason that I decided to take this program was because eventually I would like to teach at a university and move out to the West Coast to be close to my friends and family. There are several art schools and design schools that I would be really interested in teaching at. But thus far, we are moving into a Cycle 3, which is a refinement, and getting everything to function within a virtual or online environment. And that is the conclusion of my AR project. Thanks.